Welcome to this explainer. Okay, today we are diving deep, literally, into this massive size difference between land and sea creatures. I mean, have you ever stopped to wonder why the animals in our oceans are just so incredibly enormous compared to the ones we see on land? It's this wild biological mystery that has baffled observers for ages. And today, we're going to unpack exactly what's going on beneath the waves. Part 1. Land versus Sea, a tale of massive scales. So, when you first look at the sheer scale of these underwater animals compared to land mammals, honestly, it almost defies logic. It kind of makes you wonder if their moms are secretly feeding them Complan or something to get this big. It's a funny thought, for sure. But the actual biological reality of their growth, it is way more fascinating. Let's think about the absolute largest animal walking the earth right now, right? The African elephants. It is an awe-inspiring, massive beast. But compared to the ocean's undisputed champion, the blue whale, it is actually tiny. Get this, a single blue whale weighs as much as 5 or 6 of our largest African elephants combined. Just try to picture 5 elephants stacked together, and you are only just starting to match the size of one single whale. It's crazy. To put that sheer volume into an everyday perspective, the size of some of these sea creatures is equivalent to a massive 6 to 7-story building just floating through the water. Imagine literally looking up at an entire apartment complex. That is the living, breathing scale of the deep ocean. And hey, it's not just the whales getting in on this trend either. Even deep-sea bugs experience this gigantism. Take the sea spider, for example. It has grown to such terrifying proportions down in the depths that it would make our everyday land spiders look microscopic. I mean, they'd probably just take one look and completely pass out. This giant growth applies across the board, from huge mammals down to the creepiest of crawlies. Part 2. The Deep Sea Mystery, an Impossible Environment. Now, this massive scale creates a bizarre scientific paradox. Logically speaking, the incredibly harsh and restrictive deep-sea conditions dictate these animals should actually be way smaller. Think about it for a second. Absolutely no sunlight reaches these depths. Zero. The water pressure is unimaginably high, and food resources are incredibly scarce. By all normal biological rules, these creatures should shrink just to survive. Yet they just keep growing. So how are they doing it? Part 3. The Magic of Oxygen, Unlocking the Growth Cheat Code. To understand how they beat those seemingly impossible odds, we have to look at nature's ultimate growth cheat code, the ocean's temperature. It basically works like this. The water in the deep ocean is freezing cold, which actually, and this is the key part, allows it to hold a significantly higher concentration of oxygen compared to the warmer surface waters. By continuously taking in this abundant oxygen, these animals fuel an unstoppable biological expansion. The more oxygen they consume, the larger they're permitted to grow. It's like a limitless fuel supply. Part 4. The Effect of Gravity, Weightless in the Water. But oxygen is really only half the story. The ocean also completely rewrites the rules of physics. Here on the surface, gravity aggressively works against you. It heavily limits the maximum weight a skeleton can support before, well, collapsing under its own weight. But underwater, these animals are essentially floating. Buoyancy effortlessly supports their massive weight, completely negating the strict limits gravity imposes on land animals. Without gravity holding them back, they're free to just keep right on expanding. Part 5. Far from Kali Yuga, the ultimate unadulterated diet. Finally, beyond just the oxygen and the lack of gravity, we really have to address the fuel that keeps this massive growth going. When these deep-sea behemoths find food, they do not hold back. They effortlessly swallow large fish completely whole in a single gulp. They don't nibble. They feast on wildly abundant, nutrient-dense meals that provide all the intense caloric fuel needed to maintain those skyscraper-like sizes. It creates such a hilarious contrast to our modern human lives. We eat relatively small amounts of food, and we're always worrying about artificial ingredients or adulteration. As the source material jokingly puts it, our modern surface life is like the degraded era of Kali Yuga. An age of impurity, especially when you compare it to the pure, unadulterated, and massive feasts happening right now in the untouched ocean depths. This leaves us with one incredibly thrilling question. If this harsh, freezing, pitch-black environment can effortlessly engineer towering giants out of everyday creatures like spiders and whales, what other colossal secrets are still hiding down there in the unexplored darkness just waiting to shock us? It's a vast, wild world underwater, and honestly, we've only just scratched the surface. Keep wondering, and thank you so much for joining me to explore the epic mystery of deep-sea gigantism in today's Explainer.